press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children. So we are as usual in the discussion of biomolecules. So in our last discussion we reached the conclusion of two structural differences in DNA and RNA. I mentioned out in DNA we have deoxyribose. Keep it in mind, we have beta D ribose and we have beta D deoxyribose. In DNA, beta D deoxyribose. And then when the nucleotide formations, I talked about different types of nucleotides. Nucleotide formation we have not talked about. We talked about basic elements. There we mentioned down that the nitrogen 1 of pyrimidine, and what are different pyrimidines we have? Thymine, cytosine and uracil. And N9 of purine. And what are the purine base we have? Adenine and guanine. We discussed what is nucleotide and what is nucleoside on that day. Nucleotide is phosphoric acid plus sugar plus nitrogenous base. That's nucleotide. Nucleoside is sugar plus nitrogenous base. That is nucleoside. Accordingly, we have adenosine, then guanosine, you have cytidine, so on and so forth. Now link by N1 of purine is with C1, that is C prime of pentose, and here also it is C1 of pentose. One more thing, one was deoxyribose, and in case of purines, in case of DNA, you do not have uracil. You have adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. While as in case of RNA, you have uracil instead of thymine. How is base pairing? Adenine, double bonds to thymine, guanine, triple bonds with cytosine. This is DNA base pairing. If RNA, which is actually a single strand, however, when I told you in transfer RNA molecule, when it is made, if there is the process of winding in between the same chain, then the interlinking will be adenine will be double bonded with cytosine and guanine as usual with, adenine with uracil and guanine with cytosine. This will be in RNA. Or if DNA, suppose, this one I am talking about which one? I am talking about if the messenger RNA strand creates the pin-like structure, hairpin-like structure, then when the hydrogen bonding development comes into play, hydrogen bonding can occur in between the two, right or not? So there is a chance of hydrogen bonding with respect to adenine and uracil respectively. Clear or not? Or if this is not clear with you, how can this thing happen within the same chain, sir? We can say like this: when DNA is converted to mRNA or messenger RNA or RNA, when we are converting DNA to RNA, say on the DNA strand, if we have adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, adenine, and the complementary base pairing has to occur, it has to make mRNA. Adenine pairs with what? Adenine double bonds with thymine. Adenine double bonds with thymine, but there is no thymine, there is uracil. So adenine will double bond with uracil. This will be the count on RNA. Wherever there was chance of thymine, there will be uracil present on RNA. That's a basic thing to talk about. Am I clear with the thought? Yes. So let us move further forward now. And under these are the structural features or structural differences that we already talked about. Okay. Let us talk about, children, nucleotide formation. Let us talk about nucleotide formation. How is nucleotide made? Phosphoric acid plus pentose sugar. I am writing pentose sugar because I am not specifically talking about DNA or RNA. And nitrogenous base. So when nitrogenous base will interact with pentose sugar, there will be elimination of water molecule, and there will be elimination of water molecule here also, which I have already told you in my last class with respect to this. So for the formation of each nucleotide, two moles of water are removed. For the formation of each 1 mole of nucleotide, if you are making 1 mole of nucleotide, then 2 moles of water will be removed. Right? Let us see the structural part of this, how it is exactly attached. We have, remember that when you are using these nucleotides, during DNA replication, when DNA is being synthesized, our bases, that's adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine, are present as adenosine triphosphate, guanosine triphosphate, uridine triphosphate, cytosine triphosphate and thymidine triphosphate, TTPs. The first thing is that when DNA synthesis occurs, in DNA synthesis, only 1 phosphate is incorporated. When the DNA synthesis occurs, when the replication occurs, DNA is being synthesized, the semi-conservative model nature is followed. We will have only one of the phosphate out of the 3 engaged in bonding. Let me differentiate out. We have adenosine monophosphate. This is the final molecule which is put in DNA. But adenosine monophosphate will not be as AMP in the cell. This will be present in triphosphate form. And before DNA replication, all of you know very well that adenosine triphosphate is converted to adenosine monophosphate plus PPI. This PPI is pyrophosphate, means there are 2 phosphate groups attached to each other. I will show you structurally. Then when pyrophosphatase will work on it, it breaks into 2 phosphate groups, 2 inorganic phosphate groups. And whatever the energy is being released from there, that energy is used after you are breaking the bonds. That energy is used by DNA polymerase for phosphodiester bond formation. That is when you are linking one nucleotide with the other nucleotide. I said earlier, the bond is phosphodiester bond. And to make this phosphodiester bond, they need some energy. And DNA polymerase molecule will utilize some energy. That comes into play from the phosphate. PPI molecule is breaking out into 2PI. The energy that has been obtained from there is used by enzyme for that purpose, and many other works will be done. Now, how exactly does the structural part of this come into play? So I am making things more clearer at the fundamental level, at the basic level only. So how exactly the synthesis will now come into play? So when nucleotide formation occurs, remember, in nucleotide it is not triphosphate. Actually, in the cell, nucleotides will be found in the form of triphosphates, right? We can draw that as well here. You can see that. So let us draw first of all nucleotide for DNA synthesis. When the DNA is to be synthesized, what is the basic elemental nucleotide that is used for it is deoxyribose containing nucleotide. So let us see that. So we have ribose sugar here. I'll make it more clearer, children. We have ribose sugar here. Understand it well. Now what do we have here? You have CH2OH group. You got H here. Then you have H and you have OH. At 3' carbon, what do you have? OH. You have H. Then as usual, you have here what? CH2OH. So CH2OH. CH2. We know how is the link made? Phosphoric acid. That is linked via oxygen to phosphorus. Double bond O. Right or not? Then you have O minus and O minus. Now actually how it will be formed in the cell will be in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So this link will continue with P double bond O, then O, P double bond O. Can you see it here? Yes. So it will continue on, then you have O minus, then you have O minus, then you have O minus here. Did you see the structure here? So you have 3 phosphate groups here, 1, 2, 3. This phosphate which is directly linked to the carbon of the ribose sugar is alpha. This will be beta and this will be gamma. As phosphate, the phosphate which is closest to the ribose sugar is strongly held. The anhydride linkages will be broken off and these 2 phosphate groups will be removed, released out. You can do that by the addition of water molecule. Once water molecule is added, what will happen is, so this will convert to OH, 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 OH. Accordingly, you can see the balancing of this molecule. But once it is found in the medium, once this is found in the medium, naturally this will be in dissociated form because this is an acid. And it will be found in which form? Dissociated form only. So it will be O minus, O minus, O. So that's why we are writing this group which has been separated out from the ATP molecule as what? PPI, inorganic phosphate. So that is converted to 2PI. Right? So this bond which is existing now between P, O, P, double bond O, O minus, O minus, O minus and O minus. This bond can be broken off and you are getting these 2 groups separately. And the energy that comes from it is used by DNA polymerase molecule for its various working. Is it clear? Basic thing. Actually not basic thing, you need to comprehend it from its DNA synthesis itself. Now, let us draw the base pairs. First of all, the base pairs which are purines. I will not draw to the scale structure here, but we know purines are double ring structures. And you can see here, we know you have nitrogen here, we have nitrogen here, then there is one more. It is nitrogen here also. Look here, on this nitrogen atom, I'll draw it clearly. Nitrogen, you have nitrogen here, we got a double bond, double bond here, one double bond here, then you have nitrogen here, you have nitrogen here. This nitrogen is attached to hydrogen. Here the group is CH2OH. This water molecule will be removed. Once water molecule has been removed, you can see that easily. N will be now directly linked to what? OH is removed. N will be directly linked to what? Carbon. We can do that. So that water molecule of it is removed. We will have N directly linked to carbon. Correct or not? So from here, it was CH2OH, right? So you have removed what? Carbon here. So this is called as N-glycosidic linkage. N-glycosidic linkage. We already know this nitrogen is number 9 nitrogen from the ring itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and numbering can be done different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 8, this is 7, 9. This is directly linked to carbon. So from purine, this is the 9th carbon linked. So on the basis of C double bond O and other groups, we can have this purine. What are the purines? We have adenine and guanine. Suppose if it is adenine, if this base, purine base is adenine, this becomes adenosine triphosphate. And if these phosphate groups, which is actually when the DNA will be made, when the DNA synthesis will occur, these two will not be existing because these will be already hydrolyzed off. So you will get adenosine monophosphate. So this is nucleoside and you have monophosphate attached to it. Now that will be our basic scaffold for the synthesis of DNA. Am I clear with the thought here? Right. So if it is guanine, so adenine, if it is gone, it becomes guanosine triphosphate, or you can have adenosine triphosphate. When hydrolysis will occur for that, it will be adenosine monophosphate, which will be incorporated in DNA. Right or not? And then you can even have guanosine triphosphate, which can be converted to what? Guanosine monophosphate respectively, which will be incorporated in DNA. So these are purine bases. What are these? Purine bases. Same thing can come into play. And if this nitrogen is now, I'll draw the diagram here only, rest of the things are same. So I'll draw it. So we have ribose sugar. We have ribose sugar, children, as usual. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you got double bond here, and double bond here. You have nitrogen here. H actually should be this. NH group here. So again, you see what will be the reaction, children? What will be happening? Right? So you have double bond here. Correct or not? You have double bond here. You have double bond here. So what will be happening again? CH2OH. Again you will get N directly linked to what? Carbon. So again you will get which linkage? N glycosidic linkage. But this is which carbon? Nitrogen now. This is nitrogen 1 and this is C prime 1. So linkage from which base? And then usually P. I will now mention that as P. That P you can see is at what carbon? 5 prime carbon. So this P will be at what carbon? 5 prime carbon. This is at C1 prime. Correct or not? So N1. So link will be, if it is this base now can be, so already we have taken by adenine guanine, then you can have thymine, you can have cytosine, or if it is RNA, it can be uracil instead of what? Thymine. That's basic thing. Did you understand or not? So general thing to say is, children, that purines, what is the, in purine, what is N-glycosidic linkage? In purine, N-glycosidic linkage is between what? N1 of base with C prime 1 of pentose. Okay, in pyrimidine, it is N9 of base with C1 of pentose. It's a basic thing. Followed or not? So on the whole, when you look in the general scale, this is our nucleotide now. Have a look now. If it is deoxyribose, this OH will not be existing here at all in DNA. Now this one will engage in bonding with the next nucleotide. This OH is over, this OH is over. All the OH groups on this molecule are over. I'll show you in the ribose sugar what exactly will happen now. Is it clear? Right. So in DNA, incorporation will be from only one phosphate. That's monophosphate group. Now have a look carefully. So we had ribose. There, what was the group here? CH2OH removed when it was interacting with H3PO4. So no OH group now. Now only one OH group is present. I am talking about in DNA now. Deoxyribose, which will be incorporated as a pentose sugar in DNA. Now this OH is already not there, it is HNH. There was this CH2OH group and there was H group here. Now this is also gone when it is interactive with either adenine or guanine or thymine or cytosine, not the uracil, because uracil will be in RNA. Keep it in mind. This is very important structural feature here. So this also is gone. There is no OH here. This OH will now combine with the next nucleotide and this OH will also be over. So there is no OH left free on the ribose sugar now after the DNA synthesis will occur. This is why this ribose structural feature will allow DNA to be extremely stable and it will be extremely resistant to the hydrogen bonding within the systems, resistant to the ionic reactions, resistant to diol reactions as well, because OH groups are not lying side to side at all. But in RNA, this OH is there which can combine with the next nucleotide, that is correct. But this OH is also there. So before it has undergone reaction, there is a chance that this nucleotide may undergo a diol reaction here. Ring cyclization will come into play. Due to that, the chain cannot elongate further. That's why RNA as a genetic material is not stabilizing, and RNA as a genetic material cannot be trusted much because of these features. So this is a structural feature difference between DNA and RNA in terms of its basis, in terms of its ribose sugar respectively. And in DNA, as I mentioned, it will be in terms of triphosphate. So the triphosphate anhydride bonds are broken off. I have already told you. Once they are broken off, we are getting PPI, which can be broken off, and energy obtained from the bond breaking will be utilized for the formation of phosphodiester linkage in DNA. And that's what happens in DNA. So it is adenosine monophosphate, guanosine or thymidine or cytidine triphosphate that is incorporated in the bonds. Am I clear with the thought here? Clear or not? Understood the structural featural difference here? Everyone, carefully. Excellent. Now we will see in the next phase of our discussion how these nucleotides will combine together. Now take in mind, when one nucleotide is made, how many water molecules are removed? How many water molecules are removed? 2 water molecules will be removed. Okay? So from the fifth, so phosphate is attached to which end? Which carbon? 5 prime, and the nitrogenous base will be attached to the first prime carbon. Correct or not? So it's not a normal phosphodiester. When the phosphodiester linkage will be made, it won't be made by the removal of water. Before that, there will be a hydrolysis process in which the phosphate molecules, 2 PPI, will be removed off. Oh yes, PPI will be removed off from the ATP structure. So first that happens, and then this monophosphate will be used to bond. So don't think that that's happening separately. It's an ATP. One is that ATP, GTP, CTP is to be used for bond formation during the DNA replication. At that time only, this bond will break off and a phosphodiester linkage will be developed. Is it clear? Good. So, not like the glycosidic linkage. We'll have a look onto this here. Now we will make a dinucleotide out of it, first of all. And here I will mention base. First, let us make one dinucleotide. First of all, let us make one dinucleotide. 2 nucleotides, right? Basic thing. What's a linkage? Phosphodiester bond. Why it's called as phosphodiester bond? Because around phosphate there will be 2 ester linkages. So RCO. So in between the phosphor ester, phosphate ester. So phosphodiester linkage will be exhibited there. Now keep it in mind. I will show nitrogenous bases like this now. So I am showing nitrogenous base directly like this. And I will bond it here and I will write down whether it is adenine or guanine. Correct or not? So I won't mention the groups here, double bonds and other things here at all. So I'll put aromaticity here, aromatic compounds, these are existing. I'll put a cycle for it. That's it. Aromaticity is existing. Is it clear? Keep it in mind, this is the 9th nitrogen of purines which is interacting with the sugar. That's basic thing to understand now. Or I will draw like this. I will draw structure like this, 2 rings. That way also it will be fine. So let us draw one nucleotide first of all. So I will draw one nucleotide here. Let me rub it off so that whole structure will come. Okay, I'll draw one nucleotide here. Yes, have a look. I will mention this one. Suppose this is a double ring structure, right? Or if you get confused with this, this is nitrogen, so via nitrogen it is linked. Say this is adenine. Then you have OH group here. Here I will mention CH2O P double bond O, O minus, O minus. So this is monophosphate. Clear? Good. This is OH end. Now have a look, important thing. Here what I got is, on the next unit, suppose now I have a purine base, nitrogen, linked directly to this. Suppose this is thymine. It becomes adenosine monophosphate. Now here what we have? We have this thing, you should keep it in mind. We have CH2, then you have P double bond O, then actually in the medium it will be OH, this will be OH. Yes or no? How will the reaction happen? Get it here, I am taking that out. So we got OH here. I will rotate this down, it will be P double bond O. Here we'll have OH. We got OH. Actually it will be in dissociated form in the medium. And then you got which group here? OH, P double bond O. And then you have CH2, which is linked to the ribose sugar. So again what will be happening here? Water molecule will be removed, minus water molecule. So already 2 phosphates have been removed. Now linkage will occur and OH and this O, water molecule will be removed. Actually it will be the form of OH. Once interaction occurs, when hydrolysis you are doing, 2 phosphates have been removed, this will convert to OH, right? And then OH will be bonding up with the OH, which is present at the 3rd carbon. This is 3' carbon. Yes. So linkage between the two will come, water molecule will be removed. So how the link looks like? So this P will remain as such, OH will remain as such. This OH will not remain, as the water molecule has been removed. It will be linked via oxygen to carbon 3rd. So this you can see that R group, RC, R on the whole, right? CO, you got C, P. Through P you have ester linkage one side, ester linkage other side. Phosphodiester linkage, RC, OOR, RC double bond O, OR. Here P is the double bond structure. So this becomes ester linkage. So this is phosphodiester linkage. Am I clear with the or general way? So the linkage existing here will be phosphodiester linkage. So this will be removed of OH. Yes or no? Here OH will interact with this, OH will also be removed. So how will this structure look like? It will be CH2OH, CH2 attached to P, O attached to P, then you got O minus, then you got O minus. Sorry, so you got C double bond O, then O, this OH has undergone bonding, it will be in the form of OH, we can put a negative charge on this. So what has happened here is, so a dinucleotide has been made. So from each dinucleotide, when one mononucleotide is made, one nucleotide is made, water molecules removed are how many? 2. Here also how many water molecules removed? 2 water molecules. So when one dinucleotide is made, the number of water molecules removed are how many? 5. There will be 5 water molecules removed. 1 from phosphodiester linkage. So now you can see that this is which carbon? 5 carbon. Add 5 carbon, what do you have? P, understand it. Add 5th carbon, what do you have? P. Now this is 3rd carbon, it is free, right? It can continue and it can link with 5 prime. This will be 5 prime. It will link with 5 prime. So chain will continue or not? Right or not? So as the chain continues, what do you have here? Nitrogenous base. So I will write down that adenine. There's a base directly. Understand it well? We have a nitrogenous base here, right? So there's a link between these two. What's a linkage? Phosphodiester linkage. So this is the link. What's the next base we have? This will be which one? This is 3rd carbon. This is again 5. Yes. This is which one? Thymine. So it can continue off. You can have guanine. It can continue off. You can have cytosine. So tell me, what is this one? Nitrogenous base. This is which end? 3rd end. This is which end? 5 end. Right or not? Again it will be 3rd, 5. This will be 3rd. This will be 5. So chain continues or not? At the end, which end will be free for this one? 5 will be free. If you keep going down, what will be free towards the end? 3. It will be looming from it. Suppose 3rd end has not undergone reaction, it will be 3rd end this way. So sugar phosphate backbone can be shown. Adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Chain can continue. So what is this? Via P. Linkage is by P, right? Here also P. Here also P. Here also P. What is this one? Sugar phosphate. This is sugar phosphate. This is sugar phosphate. This is sugar phosphate. It continues. 3rd end will here from sugar end, 3rd carbon will remain free. So you can continue the chain respectively. So when you want to show this structure in basic terms, how will you show it? I can just analyze that result here. Just after phosphodiester linkage has been made, we can analyze the result. You can see phosphodiester linkage made or not. How will the group look like now? It will be like this. I'll draw it short one now. This is nitrogenous base, I will write it. Whatever the nitrogenous base. This will be CH2OP phosphate group. Let us not mention down that P double bond OO, so on and so forth. This is which end? 3rd end. Yes. Linked with what? Oxygen. Through phosphorus, I'll not mention O and other things here at all. I'll mention directly now P. OH and OH, water molecule removed. Via oxygen attached to what? P. Correct or not? Then, again you got one more. OH can continue or not? You can see this will be 5. If the chain continues, you will have 3. So what you had actually? What you have actually coming here? So you have base, which is attached to what? Sugar. Sugar is attached via phosphate to one more sugar, then phosphate, then sugar, then phosphate, then sugar. So from each sugar, what is coming out? Base. From each sugar, what is coming out? Base. So when you look on this in molecular events, you will find out that DNA synthesis that occurs will be at the alternate backbone of which one? Sugar phosphate backbone. So this sugar phosphate backbone will continue how many times? N times. So this will continue, this chain will continue. And then when these nucleotides are put in the DNA, in the chromosome, how exactly do take the arrangement? We know according to Crick-Watson's model, DNA is, what is DNA? Double-stranded. Oh, yes or no? DNA is double-stranded and also DNA is helical. So in our next class, we will start a discussion on, I'm being very slow here so that you can comprehend and understand the things very properly, right? So we have, this is which carbon? 5. So when you write the strands, how do you write it? Don't you write it like this, children? Suppose DNA is double-stranded. I'll just show the structure later, we'll analyze the result. So if this is 5 prime, there you write 3 prime. What does that 3 mean? That 3 will have OH free, which can continue the chain, and this 5 will have the O group attached to it, which can continue the phosphodiester linkage upwards. So every time you synthesize the DNA, you will always have the 5 end and you will have, 5 prime and 3 prime and respectively. And what is this backbone made up of? Tell me. So from this backbone, what is projected out? Base. Base comes out from sugar. Sugar is attached via phosphorus to next sugar. Where from what will come out? Base. Via phosphate it is attached to what? Other sugar. What will come out? Base. correct or not? Then attach it by phosphate to other sugar. What will come out? Base. So the bases will be coming out, projected outwards. So when we look in the three-dimensional structure of this, the tertiary structure of this DNA, it is just open. It's like we have just made protein chain. It is just we have made a nucleotide chain. Now how will this nucleotide, one nucleotide and other nucleotide, combine with each other during what? During DNA synthesis? How do two DNA intertwine with each other, in which already one existing DNA strand is there and that is being synthesized during DNA replication? How the complementary base pairing will come into play? So those things we'll see in our next class. Did you understand or not? This is the structural feature. Now nowhere in the DNA, if it was RNA, children, remember that in the sugar, this OH group will remain as such. If it was RNA, this OH group will remain as such. And you know, if it is incorporated here from the sugar, and there will be some OH group also looming out, right or not? And that OH group can undergo different types of reactions. And if it undergoes different types of reactions, the helical story, the structure of that particular molecule will not be maintained. Thus, RNA is not stable. RNA is not reliable. Its half-life time is very less. It can be broken out. It can be destroyed out in the cell very quickly by different types of ingredients present in the cell, like salts, alteration in the slight changes in the pH. If that will also occur, it can completely alter the structure of RNA respectively. Am I clear or not? Clear with the thought? So this is the basic arrangement of nucleotide. It's a result in the formation of a polynucleotide. And a polynucleotide will always have a 5' end and 3' end. 3' end means on the sugar, third OH group is free. And 5-phosphate. That's why in DNA you will sometimes write as 5 cap, it will be 5p. So we'll continue on the discussion in our next class.